Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. In this new video of JAPO, we will talk about two new features. Smart Search, which is an enhanced version of the multi-annotation search. And then the new possibility to read AI-generated code samples for every single annotation, which is part of JAPO database. My name is Mohamed. I am a Java developer and software architect. Putting together some years of experience in Java development led me to start two open source projects back in 2021. And then starting from October of 2023, I put together a very small team of Java developers, and together we started JAPO. Java Annotations Repo is known today as the world's first search engine dedicated to Java annotations. In the previous version of JAPO, we introduced search conditions on top of the existing search operations. So as things start growing and expanding with JAPO, we decided to create some sort of search features matrix or table, which we're gonna explore here together. So in its current version, JAPO offers the following search features. The classic one, which is the annotation name search, which can be coupled with a set of conditions in order to perform either a partial match, prefix match, or suffix match search. In all cases, the search is conducted by simple name by default, unless you add in a dot in the name you provide, which we then switch to the search by qualified name. Now, we expanded the classic annotation name search by allowing the possibility of providing multiple annotation names separated by spaces, and that's the one we call the multi-annotation search. At the difference of the classic annotation name search, the multi-annotation search performs an exact match on every single one of the word or the name provided in your search query. Now, before we mention the next annotation search feature, which is the newest introduced in this latest release, we're gonna quickly mention the artifact search. JAPO allows not only to search for annotations, but also for artifacts, Maven artifacts, which contain annotations. So you can perform the search by either the Maven artifact ID or the artifact name. Now, the new annotation search feature introduced in this latest release of JAPO is the smart search. This new feature is actually an expansion of the multi-annotation search, in the sense where it allows you to provide multiple annotation names, just like the multi-annotation search. But then the difference here is that instead of performing only an exact match search for each one of those annotation names, it will perform all of the matches, such as the exact, partial, prefix, and suffix on every single one of them. And then for every single one of those annotations names provided, which didn't return any exact match, JAPO will make use of AI, artificial intelligence, to suggest several other annotation names similar to the letters you entered. We will see all that in a demo just now. So with the JAPO plugin for IntelliJ, you can go in and then type in each one of the annotations names right here and perform the multi-annotation search this way, or make use of the scan with JAPO option, which was actually created to help make use of the multi-annotation search feature. So here, with this class we have here, when we run the scan with JAPO, we can see that this class currently contains these 3 annotations. And in this ideal case, we have a match for each one of them. In this case, an exact match. If we go ahead and add an annotation which didn't exist, such as ABC, for example, and then run another scan once again, then you will see that indeed there is no match found for ABC. Now, if you take a closer look at what's going on here exactly, is that for you to take great advantage of the multi-annotation search, you are almost required to know the exact names of each annotation you want to search for. One of the reasons why we came up with this match search feature was actually to help against such a situation, actually. But then, before we show how that would work, let's attempt a match search with the exact same words we have here. Okay, so let's select this and then click submit and give it some seconds. Now, if you take a look at the results, which look slightly different, you will see that for every single one of the provided annotation names in our query, we have a bit more search results. And in that case, we not only have just an exact match operation happening, but also all of the other ones, partial, prefix, and so on. For each one of them, you have a number showing the amount of matches, which if you click it, this number, you will be taken to the webpage of JAPO for you to see the details of that specific annotation. Next to it is the code sample link, which we're going to be discussing later. And if you look at, okay, before we look at the ABC one, you can see that for Spring Boot application, override and auto-wired, we have almost the same type of results. A few exact matches, code samplers, partial, prefix, the other type of matches. But then with ABC specifically, we have 0 exact match, and because there was 0 exact match, JAPO attempted to suggest possible annotation names which are based on actually what you entered here as query. Now let's attempt to as I just mentioned now, we wanted to create more flexibility so that you won't be required to know the exact same name of the exact name of the annotation. So let's say as a developer you are in a rush and you don't even have the time to do a copy paste of this specific annotation over the Spring Boot application. So you can just go ahead and do something like this, you know, like some sort of abbreviation or maybe initials, but in this case abbreviation, to indicate which kind of annotation you are looking for, right? So let's attempt that for each one of them. We already tried ABC, so let's try something like, for example, we know the deprecated annotation. Okay, let's write it this way to see what happened. And also you have the generated annotation, the builder annotation. We can try them like that. Well, the override and auto-wired can be, let's attempt something like just a very random number annotation name and see what happens, right? Something really random. And let's see. Okay, here we go. So now you can see that for this abbreviation we entered here, there was of course 0 exact match in JAPO database. Why now there is no such annotation? But then JAPO attempted, by making use of artificial intelligence in the background, he attempted to suggest annotation names that are close enough to the name you entered here. So it found Spring Boot application and a few others. When it comes to deprecated, we have the same behavior here. It was able to guess that from this DPC TD you wrote there, you wanted to search for deprecated, or maybe few others, as you can see here, which are similar to that. Same with generated, yeah, generated. Builder, same. And when it comes to the random letters we entered, well, there wasn't really an annotation name, right? So it attempted to provide Jakarta.annotation, Jakarta.annotation generated, and few others. Okay. Now, you might be thinking, well, like, okay, suggestions are there, but then what? Well, so as you can see, each one of the suggestions is a hyperlink. And once you click on each one of them, what you will have there is the keyword that you click is entered here in the search field so that you can actually use it, modify it before sending a new request with it if you want. In case you think it doesn't look so convenient to have the selected word replace the entire existing text inside here, you can just go ahead and leave a space here, add a space at the end like this, and then once you click a word, you will see that the word will be added by the end of it. Okay, so that way you can then modify each separately and run another smart search with all those words, or a multi-search, any kind of search you want from there. Now, this section here, the suggested smart search query section, what it does here is that it goes through all of the suggestions that are listed here and then picks up, I think, the first one of each and then list them here as a new smart search query for you to use to perform another search. When you click the edit a suggested query here, then the entire text you have here will be moved to the text field here so that you can modify it before sending a new query with it. And if you want to go back to your original query, you just have to click this one and then you find your original query back. So this is basically how the smart search works. So as you can see, it provides you the ability to perform all types of matches, spatial match, prefix match, and so on. And on top of that, it provides useful suggestions, which are other existing annotation names, which you can use in your search. Now, besides the smart search, we also mentioned the possibility to read code samples, and we even saw one of those. Let me do this and then run another smart search with the correct annotation name so that we can have exact matches. And because we have exact matches, as you can see, we now have the code samples link. Let's pick up this case here where we have generated with 3 exact matches. Because we have exact matches, the code sample links show up right away. So if we click this link, you will be redirected to the web page of JAPO, where you have a new page that has been added there and which we call the Java code viewer. That page lists code samplers from actually up to 10 annotations. All of the code samples are stacked on top of others, so you're gonna have to do some scrolling there. But as you can see here, because we click the generated annotation link to see the code samples, we have here all 3 generated annotations. The first one from Lombok, the second one from Jakarta annotation, and the other one from Hibernate annotations. So each one of them come with code samples, which, as you can see, were just generated just now. And additionally to that, there are also useful comments that can explain to you what the annotation does, how to make use of it, when to use it, and so on. So this can be really useful in case you wanna also compare the code samples or the annotations between them. So you can go through the code samples like this, and well, and that's it. So that's it regarding the 2 new features introduced in the latest version of JAPO. As you can see, this is the first step towards AI integration with JAPO. And this is something we are working on improving every day. So stay tuned. There will be some good news coming ahead. Thank you for watching. Bye.